What is going on? Everyone, welcome back to another episode of Worst Injury Ever, where we bring you the most gruesome, disgusting, and most unbelievable injuries ever sustained by athlete. And today we are looking at one of the world's best players. If you don't know much about football, Neymar is widely considered one of the greatest players of all time. And if you don't like football, well, this injury will definitely change your mind. This is Neymar's worst injury. In 2014, Brazil were gearing up for their World Cup quarterfinal against Colombia. Neymar was having an incredible tournament and had scored 4 goals so far, including one in the last game against Chile in the round of 16. The Selecao were looking unstoppable and were hoping to go all the way. But in the 34th minute of the game, Neymar would have his dreams come crashing down. The ball came into the box from the right wing. Neymar controlled it with his chest and laid it off to his teammate as he turned to make a run. He felt a searing pain in his back and instantly dropped to the floor. At first, everyone thought it was just a bad cramp. But when Neymar grabbed his hamstring and pulled it tight, everyone knew something was very wrong. The medical staff ran onto the pitch to attend to Neymar, but he was writhing around in agony and could barely breathe. The referee blew his whistle and play was stopped, but no one was paying attention to him. All eyes were on Neymar. The stretcher was brought out and Neymar was carefully placed on it. He looked distraught. His face was pale and sweaty, and he was in so much pain he could not even stand. It was one of the most somber scenes anyone had seen at a football game. The Brazilian fans began crying and some even fainted. It was heartbreaking. As the stretcher carried him off the pitch, he broke down in tears. His World Cup was over before the half even finished. The whole nation mourned the loss of their star player. But what had happened to him? No one was sure at the time, but it would later be revealed that Neymar had suffered one of the worst possible injuries, a brutal knee in the back. For the rest of the match, the Colombians were jeered mercilessly by the crowd. Even though they had done nothing wrong, it was tough for them to deal with the pressure of playing against such a great team and eliminating their star player. They held on and won the 2-1. After extra time, Brazil's misery would continue as Germany would thrash them 7-1 in the semifinals. It was one of the worst defeats in World Cup history. Now, as awful as that was for Brazil, it would get so much worse because it would later be discovered that Neymar had actually fractured a vertebra in his lower back. Doctors said that if the impact had been just a little bit more force, Neymar could have become paralyzed from the waist down. He was in agony. The pain was unbearable. He could not sleep or eat, and then he found out that he might never play football again. It was devastating, but Neymar was determined to make a comeback. He began an intense rehab program that lasted for several months. He worked tirelessly, both physically and mentally, to get himself back in shape. Every day he posted videos of his workouts online to show the world that he was determined to come back stronger than ever. Slowly but surely, he began to make progress. In February 2015, he returned to training with Barcelona. It was a huge moment for him and for the club's fans. They had missed him so much, and his presence in training gave them hope for the future. But would he ever be able to play again? Would he ever be able to perform at the same level? No one really knew. But Neymar was determined to find out. Finally, the day arrived when he was deemed fit enough to play. On February, Neymar made his long-awaited return to action when he came on as a substitute in a La Liga match against Sociedad de Bada. The Camp Nou erupted as he stepped onto the pitch. It was a mixture of joy, relief, and disbelief. Could he really be back? He played well, but it was clear that he wasn't quite at full speed yet. Still, it was a promising start. In the following matches, he gradually increased his workload and his performance improved. But it was during the Champions League match against Bayer Leverkusen that we really saw the new Neymar. He was back with a vengeance. In the 6th minute, he received the ball on the left wing and cut inside. The Leverkusen defender tried to tackle him, but Neymar was too quick. He sped past the defender and unleashed a powerful shot that crashed into the net. The Camp Nou went wild. It was a goal worthy of winning any game, and it showed the world that Neymar was back to his best. But it was more than just a goal that impressed us. It was the way he played. He was fearless, direct, and unstoppable. But there was something else there, too. Something different. In the previous version of Neymar, there had been a lot of trickery and flair. But now there was a steeliness, a determination, a willingness to take on anyone and everyone. This was not the same Neymar who had cried his way off the pitch against Colombia. This was a warrior. Over the next few seasons, Neymar would go on to win numerous trophies with Barcelona, including 2 La Liga titles and 1 Champions League title. He was always in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or and was considered one of the best players in the world. But we never saw him reach the same heights with Brazil. After his injury in 2014, he would only help them to win 1 major trophy, the 2019 America's Cup. They came very close to winning the 2021 Copa America, but lost to Argentina in the final. And in 2022, they were knocked out in the quarterfinals of the World Cup by Croatia. Neymar was blamed for their failure. Fans and media alike felt that he had underperformed and had not been able to lead his team to glory. It's hard to believe that the same Neymar who had cried his way off the pitch in 2014 was now being criticized so harshly. But it just shows how high the expectations were for him and how much pressure he was under to deliver. But despite all the criticism, Neymar has remained one of the most popular players in the world. He has used his platform to speak out against racism and homophobia and has become a role model for many young people. But what really changed Neymar? What did that horrific injury do to him? Well, it's hard to say, but I think it's safe to say that it made him into the player he was meant to be. It made him fearless, determined, and relentless. And while we may never see the flamboyant trickery and flair that made him famous, we can be sure that we are witnessing something truly special. We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more amazing sports videos. Now, check out this video right here about one of the most brutal own goals ever scored. Or check out this video over here about the most painful soccer injury. Whichever you choose, we guarantee you'll be entertained.